Hi Ryan, hi Matthew, how are you both?
Hi, Josh.
Good. How are you?
You're good.
Yeah, great, thank you. And pleasure to be speaking to you both for this film. I watched it this week, had a great time with it. It's a fascinating story. And
Thank
Ryan,
you.
I wanted to start with you because obviously you play this FBI agent who is in this very dogged pursuit of Jason Derek Brand. So, how did you go about getting into his mindset and the frustration he feels about this guy constantly being one step ahead of him, it seems?
Well, I love true crime as a fan of the genre. I love true stories as an actor because it does a lot of the preparation work for you when you're playing someone who existed or does currently exist. There was a fair amount of material to watch and read about the case. But there has to be a good script at its foundation, right? And so that's what drew me in. But it was very clear to me that there was something personal in this for Lysing as well. Not only is he a man who does his job doggedly and to the nth degree, but there was something about Jason Derek Brown's attitude, behavior, the con man nature that really got under his skin, that I think gave extra impetus for trying to find him. The fact that in the wake of his crime, he sort of thumbed his nose at law enforcement or gave them the middle finger. And I think that was something that really annoyed and angered Lance Lysing.
Absolutely. And Matthew, on that note, obviously you did write the screenplay as well as directing. So when it came to telling this story, obviously you're pitting Tom and Ryan against each other in this cat and mouse style hunt. So what made them the right actors in your mind to deliver on that, despite the fact they never really share the screen in this film, yet there's still that tension throughout, which I thought was just awesome.
Oh, thank you. Well, one of my favorite films is Heat. And, Heat does something very similar. There's only one, they do share one scene together, one the most famous scene in the movie. But, I think the concept of it, how a federal agent and investigator might never meet his prey was very interesting to me. In terms of casting these two, I mean, it was really a no-brainer. Tom, I had just seen him from Ozark, and my producer recommended him to me, and I was blown away by his performance and kind of said we have to get this guy at all costs, and we got him. And then Ryan, they say never write down your top choice on a list because you never get them. And I actually thought Ryan was going to be unavailable because when he was shooting Big Sky, there was the bait and switch that we didn't see coming. So I was like, okay, but Ryan was at the top of my list. And then sure enough, we made the offer and we got him. And Ryan, it was very easy to see why he was the right fit. First of all, he's just a great actor. And I think, is quite a chameleon because he can play the FBI agent. He's played great villains as well and everything in between. But for me, Lysing had to be someone who had a sense of justice and a sense of, honor. And when you talk to Ryan about, his past and his upbringing, military family, you see that it comes through. And I think it comes through in the performance because I think Ryan's performance is very truthful, nuanced, and grounded. And I think as your, functions as the audience's way into the movie.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more there. And Ryan, obviously, you are working with a great script here that Matthew's put together. But did you get a chance to speak to anyone in the FBI who did pursue this guy? And did that inform what your choices at all here?
Over the course of my career, I've worked with FBI agents on other stories, and so I have a sense of who they are, what makes them tick. I didn't speak to Lance. We had an advisor that could give us a frame of reference in certain situations, but no, we were kind of basing it all off of the information that was publicly available and the fact that I have played a fair amount of these types, in various projects throughout my career. But I will say, since you brought it up, one of my only regrets is that I didn't get to work with Tom Pelphrey because I think he's so good, and I'm hoping we have that opportunity at some point. I also want to reiterate that Jason Derek Brown is still at large. So let's get as many people to watch this movie as we can and maybe find this guy and bring him to justice and give my character a sense of satisfaction finally.
He's still Lance. It never left him.
Well, I certainly hope he does get caught because maybe that could mean you guys could come back and continue this story in a sequel. But Ryan, Matthew, thank you so much for your time. I had a great time with this movie. I think everyone else will too. And awesome to speak to you both.
Thank you, my
so
friend.
much.